Serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who's anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do his will, I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
American Yahanna don't like no soldiers. With the Spirit of the Lord, we don't like no soldiers. You understand me?
Like a saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Hate Christ in their image, hate you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell, toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the I.S.U.P.K, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. U.P.K the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under Yahanna, Amy murdered by them and got a hug from Yahanna. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game. Put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves.
Aquí somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí. Saludos como del General Yahanna na I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K.
This is what Commander General Yahanna did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. I had to dig.
That's right.
You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
One Westworld.
Right.
Everything is lawful. One Westworld.
The pressure on. I remember bringing nothing home. Make it little just to make it known. Steady, ready, better watch your tone. When I was 5'7", I was Cool, ain't no running up. Damn, now I'm coming up. They coming to kiss me, you dumb or what? You drawn, you done enough. They told me don't rush it, just wait my time. Paying attention, I see the signs coming right to me like.
Is Officer Swap y'all online? Say again? Facebook is down. Okay.
We're live, sir.
Live? Okay, so Facebook is up.
YouTube is up. Facebook.
Okay, so we've been up on YouTube. Oh, I thought you was fixing it. My bad, y'all. All right, cool. All right, so any questions online or in the class? Y'all niggas just know everything. All right, today's topic. The God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is not a simp. I said, what do we mean when he says it's not a simp? What's a simp? What's a simp? There's a term that came up recently. I never used to hear that term before. What is a simp? Officer Shapak?
My knowledge is like more of a term that was used, when it comes to dealing with women, mainly in the pimping game. If you're not a pimp, you a simp. Basically one who, caters to women. You know what I'm saying? Like a sucker for a woman.
A sucker for a woman. That's the word I'm looking for. You understand what I mean? So when we say the God of the Bible is not a sucker, he's not a sucker. You understand? He's not a sucker. And I'm gonna explain to you why we're having this. We're talking about this today. Give me the book of Genesis, chapter 17, where the Lord made the covenant with our forefather Abraham.
17 and 20.
Say again. Go to verse 1. 17:1. Genesis 17, verse 1. Shout out to all those on the live stream. We have Just Art and Paint. Shalom, sis. Adolphus Last. Shalom, brother. Akira 76. Shalom. Darius Harrod. Shalom, brother. Kelly Usual. Shalom, sis.
You said yes, 17 and
17:1. Lord is not a simp, man. Everybody needs to get that. And let me tell you what, on top of that, everybody else's God is a simp. Just to make it clear. Everybody else's God is a simp. The white Jesus is a simp. Allah is a simp. And you're gonna see why I'm saying the things I'm saying. Who got it?
Okay. Book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the mighty God. I am the Almighty God. walk before me, and be thou perfect. Verse 2. And I will make.
So, like, can we share the YouTube link on the DC class page or no? Yeah, do that at least. One more time, Shabbat, please. So
Book of Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. That's
what the God, and we sang that before. When the Lord said, go ahead, Shabbat. With Job. Yes, and where else do you see that? Christ gave the order. Go ahead.
Christ said, be perfect like thy Father in heaven.
Right. So for everybody, first of all, who want to come up with the excuse, right, that nobody's perfect, this is what God said to your forefather Abraham. Read it again.
Come. And said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Be thou perfect. Let me tell you real quick. Anybody who says, nobody's perfect, nobody can be perfect, they never said that to the IRS. When the IRS told you owe $10,000, you paid $10,000. If the IRS said you owe $50, you paid $50. You understand what I mean? Nobody ever said to the IRS, nobody's perfect. But when the Lord gives you an order, now you want to bring out the perfect card. Nobody's perfect. Meaning that nobody can uphold the laws that the Lord has given you. Let me tell you, the Bible says the laws of the Lord is not burdensome, man. The law of the Lord is not burdensome. So for you to say nobody's perfect, because you can't follow simple instructions. Don't eat pork, nobody's perfect. Don't eat shrimp, nobody's perfect. Don't eat lobster, nobody's perfect. Don't eat all these unclean things. Love thy brother as thyself. Don't hate your brother. When you hear these things, your answer to it is nobody's perfect. But the Lord's not going for that. The Lord told Abraham that going forward, you know what I mean? Going forward, if you're going to follow me, you got to be perfect. You know what I mean? If you're going to follow me, you got to be perfect in following the Lord. Keep reading. Who got it?
Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee.
Shalom, brothers.
And will multiply thee exceedingly.
That's the agreement. That's the agreement. You understand what I mean? What does he have to do first? Verse 1.
Walk before me and be thou perfect.
Be thou perfect. Now, mind you, Abraham is coming from a heathen nation, a heathen people. You understand what I mean? Not a heathen, pagan, I should say. Pagan is the right word. You understand what I mean? A pagan people. So he's taking one man. You're saying something, Quash?
Yeah, Shalom.
Hey, what's going on, Simp?
I'm doing opposite.
What's on in Christ? Abraham is coming from a pagan people. But if he's going to follow the Lord, he got to walk before the Lord and be perfect. You understand what I mean? What does it mean to walk before the Lord? Go ahead.
Do what he tells you to do.
Do what he tells you to. You understand me? But what's the metaphor to walk before the Lord? Think about it. Walk before the Lord. What's the metaphor? What does it mean to walk before him? And you're right. Go ahead, Shabbat.
Like represent him, like you're walking before him, like you're speaking for him.
What do you do when you're walking before somebody? Go ahead.
You're announcing him. If you're walking before him, I would say you're announcing whoever you're walking.
Leading the way?
No. You're gonna lead the way for the Lord? Okay, walk before the Lord means what? You're in front of him. Meaning you're not going to the right or to the left. You're walking before him. Straight path. Understand? Straight path. You're not going to the right or to the left. You've heard that term in the Bible before. Do not go to the right or to the left. Walk before him. Meaning the way he sees it, That's how you going. Go ahead, Shapa.
It's like me, like thinking of people walking with their children, and you know the child is everywhere. You be like, walk in front of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can see what you're doing. You know.
Right. Understand? Go ahead, Bukwasha.
Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Read verse 4 again.
Verse 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
And when you read that part there, it's not my covenant is with thee, like it's with you. It's with you. What does that mean? What's the difference? I'm emphasizing the thee. My covenant is with thee. Meaning what? Go ahead.
He's being very specific.
Meaning?
Only you.
Only you. Understand? This is for you. This is for thee. He's excluding everybody else. You understand what I mean? And guess what? He's excluding Abraham's direct family. You understand? This is not my covenant is with you and your forefather. No. My covenant is with thee. I'm making a covenant right now with you. You understand what I mean? And he's excluding everybody else. Go ahead. Shapa, take it on the reading for me, please.
Verse 4.
Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee.
Go ahead.
And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make the nations of thee, and kings shall, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
Now this is where every heathen tries to find themselves in the lineage of Abraham and say, this is talking about us too. No, it's not. No, it's not. You understand me? This is talking about he's going to be father to the children of Israel. You understand me? Keep reading.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee.
And by the way, Abraham here is not the only man on earth. He's not the only nation on earth. So when the Lord is saying thee, and I will do this with thee, he's excluding all the other nations. All these Hamites who think they come from Abraham, you're not from Abraham. You understand what I mean? All these Moabites, you're not from Abraham. You understand what I mean? Keep reading.
Okay. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and the seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seeds after thee.
Right, go ahead.
And I will give thee, and I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after
No,
thee.
read 7 again.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee.
Me and thee, me and you, and thy seed after you. Again, he's excluding everybody else. Again, there's many nations on the earth at this time. But the Lord is making a covenant with Abraham and his seed. Go ahead.
And thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant.
What kind of covenant?
Everlasting.
An everlasting covenant. What does it mean to be everlasting covenant?
Forever, sir?
Forever. A covenant that does not end. Understand? Everlasting, forever. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
No mention of the nations. No mention of the nations. Go ahead.
Oh, God. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger.
And I'm going to give you the land where you are a stranger. Go ahead.
All the land of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
And that land of Canaan is where today? Right?
Middle East.
In the Middle East. All that land you see they fighting over there, that belongs to somebody. That belongs to somebody. You know what I mean? And anytime you hear somebody tell you, well, lineage don't matter, I always tell you, if you ever hear somebody tell you, well, bloodline and lineage don't matter, that means they're trying to steal something from that belongs to you. Right. That was for your father, that should belong to you. But since bloodline don't matter, they could take it from you.
Right.
You understand me? Why am I reading this? I'm reading this for you to understand the covenant the Lord made with your forefathers. Go ahead, Shaphan.
I got the geography.
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
Right. You understand me? All that land is yours. You understand? So I'm reading this to establish what? A covenant that was made on your behalf. There's a covenant that was made for you. Way before you were born. Your forefather Abraham made an agreement with the Almighty God that you would be a servant of his. It's not optional. You understand what I mean? It's not optional. You know what I mean? And here's the furthermore, not only is it not optional, but you don't have the authority to share that covenant with other nations. But for some reason, we think we can. You understand? We just read the original contract. That's what you call a contract. You understand what I mean? So that takes us to the book of Hosea. We're going to go to the book of Hosea. We're going to have to understand the book of Hosea is a very heavy book. It's a deep book. You understand what I mean? Most don't understand it. Most don't even understand what it's trying to say, even though it's cutting us. It's cutting the Israelites. It's cutting God's chosen people. You understand what I mean? It's directly cutting us, but we don't know it. We just see it as a story in the Bible. Right? But it's a direct cut. If you understand what's happening here in the book of Hosea, we're going to start in chapter 1 to understand this cut. Let me know when you got it. We'll go for chapter 1, verse 1.
Oh God, the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Lord that came on to Hosea, the son of Berai, in the days of Uzziah.
Uzziah is the king at the time. Hosea is who? The prophet of the Lord. You understand what I mean? And you'll find this all the time throughout the Bible. You'll find the name of the prophet, and it'll give you what? In the days of the king that was ruling. You understand what I mean? It has always been the case. There's never been a point where there was not a servant of the Lord on the earth, man. You understand? You don't think there was a prophet in the time of Donald Trump? You don't think there was a prophet in the time of Franklin D. Roosevelt? You don't think there was a prophet in the time of give me somebody else. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. You don't think there was a prophet in their time? There was a prophet there. You just didn't look for him. You understand? We'll get into that also. You just didn't look for him, or the Lord didn't find you worthy of finding him. You understand what I mean? Keep reading, Officer Shaphan.
Oh God, sir. In the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah.
So those are the kings. They mentioned, I believe, 4 kings there that have passed, and this prophet was the head prophet in those times. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. Kings of Judah. And in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, the beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea.
So this is the beginning of his. What does that mean? The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. The beginning of what?
When he started prophesying for the Lord.
His prophethood, his priesthood, his service to the children of Israel. You understand? I mean, many of you in the school, remember the day when you became a priest. You understand? You remember the day you got the oil poured in your head and you became an officer in here. You remember that day? Well, that's his anointing day when he became a priest before the Lord, a prophet before the Lord. Go ahead, Officer Shapat. And this is such a heavy metaphor, and you're gonna see why I'm saying it's a heavy metaphor. Go ahead, young man.
These are kings of Judah.
Which who?
Uzziah.
Yes.
Okay.
So all of those mentioned there are the kings that were ruling. So they came and went as he was a prophet. So he ruled. He was the prophet in their days. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 2, the beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea.
In the days of Yahushua, good night. These are the priests and prophets of the Lord in the days of Yahushua. These are the ones ruling with him. That's what you want, brother. You know what I'm saying? That thought just came to my mind, man. See Yahushua walk in the room, everybody say, Mashiach Paniyah. What? That's a day, man. That's a day that brings chills to my bones, man. Go ahead.
In the beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea, and the Lord said unto Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife of whoredom.
You have to understand what's happening here now. We're about to understand something. What's the title of the class, Officer Mukwasha?
The God of the Bible is not a simp.
You're going to understand what we're talking about now. Read that again.
And the Lord said unto Hosea, go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms.
Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms. What's a wife of whoredoms? A hoe. You understand? Understand what's happening here now, right? This is such a heavy metaphor. And you have to understand, stick with me, and you're going to understand what's happening here. All right? Read again.
And the Lord said unto Hosea, go take unto thee a wife of whoredom.
Go ahead.
And children of whoredom.
Oh, and what?
And children of whoredom.
And children of whoredom. What are children of whoredom?
They follow what their parents told them?
No. Well, to an extent, yeah. In a sense, yes. But no. What's a child of whoredom?
Child that comes from whoredom. You know what I'm saying? Like, was born of whoredoms.
Whoredoms. Which means what?
That's all they know.
No. You're on it. You're right. Go ahead.
Many men?
Yes, many men. Which means what? Shapat Dayak, you are not the father. That's a child of whoredom. You understand? A child of whoredom is a child who, read again from the top so you understand.
Book of Hosea chapter 1 verse 2. The beginning.
Go ahead.
The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said unto Hosea, go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms.
Go ahead.
And children of whoredoms.
And children of whoredom. A wife of whoredom and children of whoredom. Keep reading.
For the land have committed great whoredom.
So and here's the cut. And we're going to understand this, right? Because we know what a simp is. You understand? So Hosea is taking the wife of whoredom and children of whoredom. What happens in the neighborhood when you have wife of whoredom and children of whoredom? How do people view you? What do people say about you, knowing that your wife is a whore and them kids ain't yours? What are you doing? What are people saying in the neighborhood? We've all seen it. A brother who loves a girl, everybody knows she a hoe. Everybody know that kid ain't his. What do they say about him?
He a simp?
He a simp. He a fool. He a sucker. We laugh at him. Right or wrong? We laugh at him. Why? Because this is a joke. That's your wife? Are you sure those are your children? It's a joke. Well, guess what? Keep reading.
For the land have committed great whoredom.
For what?
The land have committed great whoredom.
The land. What's the land? Who's the land? Who's the land that's committing whoredom?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Talking about Jerusalem.
Who's this?
This is Trooper Mafia.
Trooper Mafia. Who's the land that has committed whoredom?
Israel, Jerusalem.
Israel. So what is the Lord telling you? Remember, we just read the covenant between Abraham and the Lord. So who do we belong to? The Lord. Who's the whore? Israel. We have whored. You understand me? Mm-hmm. He's telling you, just like you have the sense of humor to laugh at them, you think you're going to laugh at the Lord. You think people, the nation, not you, the nations are going to laugh at the Lord because you're a whore. Because we choose to step out the house and dibble in and dip into Christianity, Islam, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas. When we have a covenant, a contract that we should be serving the Lord. That's the metaphor here. So this metaphor, that's why Christ, if you listen to Christ when he's speaking to the Sadducees and Pharisees, one of his favorite terms to call them is ye hypocrites. He calls them a bunch of hypocrites. Why? Because they say one thing and do another. Now, we are hypocrites. Any brother who laughs at somebody like Will Smith is a hypocrite if he's not serving the Lord. Because that means you understand what a whore is. So why are you a whore? You understand? Keep reading.
Okay.
Stop me if you have any questions. Any questions online, please let me know.
Departing from the Lord. Verse 3. So he went and took Gomer.
Salakia, go ahead.
Someone online, Tommy, made a comment. Says this is not the home of the truth. IUIC and GMS are they accept me and West Africa because I knew we were Israel like you. You brothers are hypocrites.
Okay. Who IUIC and who?
GMS.
Those are the whores. Those are whores. Because they have forsaken the covenant the Lord gave them and went and found this wild African from wherever the hell he's from.
Right.
You understand what I mean? When the Lord was making the covenant with Abraham, his people was on the earth. There was not Abraham from Abraham. The Lord didn't go to them. You understand me? But who doesn't want to be the children of God?
Right.
Of course you want to be. We'll see, bro. We'll see, man. We'll see, Ham. You Hamite. We'll see. You know what I mean? That's one thing I have to say to all the heathen who think they're the real Jews. We shall see.
Right.
When that judgment comes, when the Lord comes, you're going to find out that you're not who you claim to be. You know what I mean? You have a home. Where in West Africa are you from? Ask them where in West Africa is he from? What village? What language they speak? What do they eat? And you'll quickly see this is not your people. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What's his name? Timothy? Tommy? Keep reading Shabbat. How you gonna go in there and say IUIC and GMS accept me? That's that. Like both of them accept you. You ain't put two together yet. Two whores have accepted you. We're not whores in here, man.
Right.
You understand what I mean? You rejected here. This is where that's like somebody going to the whorehouses. Different every whorehouse they welcome it, but when they come to the Lord's house, they stop at the door and say, "What's your registry? Who's your father? Nah, African, you can't come in here.
Right.
We're not whores in here. We're not looking for numbers. You understand? Let me tell you why they accept you. They're looking for numbers because they put their trust in numbers. You understand what I mean? Go ahead, Shapat.
He don't sound faithful to either one of them.
He's a whore himself.
Right.
How the hell are you going to come on here and say, both of them accept me? Could you imagine a woman saying, well, both those guys accept me? Both of them, I'm in both their beds. They both accept me. You're a whore yourself. Slack it, Shapat. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead, say it again.
So like I was saying, he ain't faithful to near one of them. They passing him around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they both accept me.
Right.
So you in bed with both of them. Keep reading, Shapat. One more time. Which verse you on?
Verse 3.
Go to verse 2 one more time. This African just threw me off just now.
Verse 2.
IUIC and GMS accepts him. Can you imagine that? Like, he don't understand how ridiculous he sounds to us. I mean, 2 whores have accepted me. 2 whores have accepted me. That's crazy. Go ahead.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 2. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said unto Hosea.
And we're not in the truth because we don't accept him. So accepting him is what will make us in the truth. Who the hell are you? God rejected you, not us. God rejected you. It's not us rejecting you. You think we have a say in who God accepts or not? We just follow the orders. You understand what I mean? If God said you was one of us, you would have been one of us. God said you're not one of us. What could we do to help you? Nothing. You're wasting your time here. Go ahead, Shapat.
And the Lord said unto Hosea,
block him.
Go take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord.
For the land has committed great whoredom by what? Departing from the Lord. You understand that? So the Lord is telling Hosea to do that so that you could see the metaphor in what's happening, what you've been doing to him. Go ahead.
It's a lot about me. I believe last night he put on a comment that he was budding weed while looking at this foolishness.
And you ain't block him then? I got to come here and do all the blocking. Yeah, you see, had you blocked him then, he wouldn't have wasted my time today. Go ahead, Shapat. He's bunning weed. An African bunning weed and interrupting the class. Go ahead.
Verse 3. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, call his name Jezreel.
Go ahead.
For yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu.
Go ahead.
And I will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. Verse 5. And it shall come to pass that that I will break the bow of Israel. Break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. Verse 6. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, call her name Loramiah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away.
So their names, they're named after judgments. You understand me? That's why he says, call his name this because I'm going to do this. Call her name that because I'm going to do that. Go ahead, Shapat.
It's a lot about me. Is it that Jezreel is Judah and Loramiah is Israel?
No.
The two kingdoms?
No.
It's not about me.
Go ahead.
Because the Lord had Israel taken away in captivity by
No, I see what you're saying. In a sense, yeah, because the two judgments were the two nations, yeah. But I'm talking about the name is judgment, basically.
Constant.
Right.
But I'm just like the judgment, the Jezreel judgment was for Judah, and the Loramiah judgment was for Israel.
I don't want to put it that way because that's not how it was broken down to me.
Constant.
I see what you're saying though, but that was not how it was broken down to me, so I can't really confirm that because I didn't ask that question. It's a good question to ask. Kat Mashak or Jerome Muhammad, you could ask them that question. They'll be able to tell you that for sure, but I can't confirm. Go ahead. Go ahead. 7.
Verse 7. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah and will save them by the Lord their God and will not have them.
Is that where we have 7? Go ahead.
But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah and I will save them by the Lord their God and will not have, and it's like, will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
But he's giving you the prophecy in the future, how he's going to end up saving the children of Israel. You understand what I mean? He will save the children of Israel, right? But before that happens, keep reading.
Verse 8. Now when she had weaned Loramiah, she conceived and bare a son. And then God said, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not.
So call his name is Lo-Ami, right? So the word Ami, and of course this is not the Paleo Hebrew, but the word Ami means son, right? Lo is not. So call his name Lo-Ami, meaning he's not my son, right? You have that child. His name is not my son. Can you imagine you have a son, or your wife has a son? What do you want to name him? Not my son. That's going to be his name. You know what I mean? Because why? The Lord is saying this is a child whoredom. You understand? This is a child whoredom. Meaning what? This child here did not come forth by the covenant I made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that you would follow my laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly. This child was born when the nation of Israel was serving other gods. So it's a metaphor, right? Keep reading. Number 9, one more time.
Verse 9. Then said God, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people.
Because what? Ye are what?
Ye are not my people.
There you have it right there. That's what his name means. Right? Go ahead.
And I will not be your God.
I will not be your God. And Ami is actually son. You are not my son. That's what he's saying. That's literally what he's saying. You are not my son, and I am not your God. Name the boy that. Right? To show you, again, the Lord is not tolerating simping. He's not going to overlook it. He's not going to say, well, I've been raising them all this time, you know what I mean? You know how the simps do? When you come and find out the child's not yours, and they're crying in the courtroom, and they're saying, I'm still going to raise him like his mine. That's not the Lord. Name him Lo-Ami. It's not my son. Go ahead, Shabbat.
The Christian church got Joseph all the way for a son.
Oh, yeah.
Like his fiance showed up pregnant, and he was just like, oh, well, I'm going to do the right thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That's not this. The Lord is not going to take a child, hold him, and say, this is my son. If you think you're going to celebrate all these evil holidays and worship all these pagan gods and do all these evil things, and you think you're going to call yourself by the Lord's name, the Lord's going to reject you.
Right.
The Lord don't need you. You're not his child. He's going to reject you. He's going to reject your mother. Who's your mother? Israel, the nation. You know what I mean? That land is sitting there without you in it. Jerusalem is the what?
Mother of us all.
Mother of us all. You're not there. Jerusalem is nothing, and you're nothing. You know what I mean? Everybody's rejected. Everybody's out the house. Everybody's now a bastard son in the streets, orphans with no father, robbing, unaliving, going to jail, dealing drugs, doing all types of evil manner. Why? Because you don't have a father right now. Because guess what? I let that hoe go with you a long time ago. You're not my son. Lo-Ami. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
Oh, God, sir.
Let me know if there's any questions online.
Verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Even though you're not my child, you're going to continue to multiply. Go ahead.
Which cannot be measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
It's going to come to pass in the place where you was told that you are nobody. You have no identity. Who are you before slavery? We don't know. Surely not God's people, though. You understand what I mean? In the place where it was said that you are not my people, go ahead.
There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
That part there is so heavy. Why is it so heavy? There it shall be said unto them. Who's the them?
Israel.
Israel. Who's saying it? Shabbat.
The heathens.
No.
The Lord.
No. Who's saying it?
Prophet.
The who?
The prophet.
The priests and prophets of the Lord on the corners every week, letting them know ye are the children of God. Read again.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto
them. In the place where you're being told you're nobody, you're not God's chosen people. There, go ahead.
It shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
That's our job now. The Lord sends us out to tell them what? Ye are the sons of the living God. We got to go out there and say that. That's the time we're living in now. You understand? I mean, we got to go to a people who are told that they're not God's people. And then every evil, it's like when you look at the whole metaphor, so it's kind of heartbreaking, right? It's like a bunch of children who are orphans don't know the covenant that their father had with God. Don't know that they are the children of God, the only children of God on earth, the only ones that the Lord deals with, the only one that the Lord loves, his favorite, his preferred people, his special people on the earth. They don't know because our forefathers hoard, and we got put out the house. You know, the Lord is sending his prophets out to regather these people after they've been broken down for centuries. You understand me? After they've been destroyed and lost their identity and don't even know who they are. And we got to go out there and tell them what, Shabbat?
Ye are the sons of the living God.
You are the sons of the living God. Whether you like it or not. This is a covenant that was made way before you were born, brother.
Right.
You understand what I mean? This is a covenant that was made way before you were born. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading, Shabbat.
Oh, constantly. Verse 8. 11, sir? Good watch. That's what it is. Oh, see, I see my man. Verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
The children of Judah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together. Y'all familiar with that scripture where the Lord says the two sticks will become one? Oh, God. Is a precept for that, right? The children of Judah and the children of Israel shall be gathered together. Go ahead.
Oh, God. And appoint themselves one head.
And appoint themselves multiple heads.
One head.
Multiple camps.
One head.
IUIC and GMS.
One head.
Appoint for themselves one head. Go ahead.
And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
One head, Timothy. One head. They'll appoint. Not both. These people and these people have accepted me. No. And that day, ain't gonna be multiple camps. Let me tell you something, man. There's only multiple ways of doing things when the Lord is not here. You understand me? When the Lord's not here, there's different ways of doing it. There's different ways of doing it. You know why? There's no accountability. So you can do it however the hell way you want to do it. You understand what I mean? But when the Lord is here, all of a sudden, there's only one way to do it, and it has to be the perfect way.
Right.
So, but for now, you have different camps. They could break off into more camps. They could break off into more camps. They can get their own teachings. They can get their own philosophies, own ideas. They could name themselves generals and bishops and captains. They could do whatever the hell they want because the Lord's not here. But when the Lord is here, what are they going to do, Shabbat? Read it again.
Come. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head.
Appoint themselves one head. Go ahead.
And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of judgment.
Let me tell you what was so evil about this is that they got, imagine now, every camp, right? Every fake Israelite group, I should say, all of a sudden know who to choose to be that one man. They all know all of a sudden. Just like in the days of Moses, once that fire came down, when the Lord started speaking, that thunder was coming down, they all said, okay, Moses, you go over and speak to the Lord. All the bravery came out of their heart because they were not, because let me tell you something about all these fake groups that we're comparing to whores. They're a bunch of cowards.
Right.
You understand what I mean? When there's no penalty, everybody has an opinion. Everybody knows the right way. Everybody has freedom to disagree. You understand what I mean? But where there's penalty, everybody says, well, I think you better do it, brother. You might know better than me. I mean, you might know better than me. Because now what they're going to do? They're going to start to sit back and think, when the hell did the Lord ever appoint me to do anything? You understand what I mean? Because now there's penalty. Let's go to chapter 2. I want to stay on this topic. Any questions online?
Loud, sir.
Hosea chapter 2. Say ye unto your brethren, I'm me, and to I'm I, and to your sisters, Rahama, plead with your mother.
Now, slow down now, right? Say unto your brethren, I'm me. Remember, notice how they take the low out of it? Now he's my son. You understand what I mean? I'm me. And his sister, Ruhama. Ruhama, that word means somebody who's been shown mercy. Somebody whose debt has been erased. Somebody who's been given forgiveness. So say unto Ami, my son, and her sister, who I forgive. You understand what I mean? Go ahead.
Okay.
So that's the judgments being reversed now. Go ahead.
Okay. Plead with your mother.
What?
Plead with your mother.
Plead with your mother. Plead with your mother. Okay, so now what's happening here? What's happening here? Go ahead, brother.
Israel asking for mercy.
You're onto it, but not Israel. Go ahead, Shabbat.
The prophet is trying to get Israel, now that the curses is up, to come back to the Lord.
So who's Ami and Ruhama in this metaphor?
Israel and Judah?
No.
The curses.
No. Who's Rami and Ruhama? Who is God's son and who has he shown mercy to?
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
No. Look outside. They look like they've been shown mercy.
Niggas.
Go ahead.
The prophet.
Who?
The prophet.
Who's the prophet?
The prophet is what's his name? Hosea.
Okay, no, you almost had it. You've been shown mercy. You are God's son. You have come back into God's fold. You understand? You have changed. You have been born again. Born again as his son. Now he's saying to you, plead with your mother. Who's your mother? Israel. The children of Israel. The knuckleheads out there. The people, why they're your mother? That's the people you come from. You know what I mean? That's the whore. That's the one who's in every mosque, in every Christian church, and Catholic church, in every pagan institute. That's them. Read verse 2 again.
Look at Hosea chapter 2, verse 2. Plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife.
She is what?
Not my wife.
Even though you've changed and you've been shown mercy and you're his son, she is not my wife. He's not a simp. He's not. You changed, he sets you back. She's still a whore out there. She's not my wife. Go ahead, Shapa.
Can the precept for verse 1 be like when it was like Christ, you telling Christ that your mother and your brethren is where they want to talk to you? And he was like, who is my mother and my brethren? These men right here is my brethren. So like verse
you
1,
can, but you'd have to be very careful because, you know, this is a little bit different in the sense that you was completely rejected because you was out being like the children of Israel is out being a whore. You know what I mean? So a precept for one is a good one for it is, can these bones live again? Right? Because they were dead and now they came back to life. They've been shown mercy. They're now God's children. Another precept for it is, ye must be born again. You know what I mean? You must be born again. It's all tied in. Born again, his children. You know what I mean? If you're going to be his son, you have to be born again because the first birth was not his because you was born under Baal. You was born under Shaitan. You was born under the Christian church, celebrating Christmas and doing all types of evil out there, smoking weed, doing drugs, sleeping with whore. That's who you were born under. But you were born again. And now you're his son. You understand? However, even though you're his son, Ami, and he's showing you mercy, Ruhamah, go plead with your mother. Go plead with your mother. You understand what I mean? Keep reading.
plead, for she is not my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Neither am I her husband.
Neither am I her husband. What does it mean when? Well, obviously, he's saying he's not her husband. What does being a husband come with for her? Protection. I'm not protecting her. She's not under my protection. If he says I am not her husband, that means my protection is not over her. So what happens to out there happens to out there. You understand? So you better go out there and plead with your mother. Keep reading.
Oh God. Neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms.
Put away her what?
Whoredoms.
Go ahead.
Out of her sight.
Put away your whoredoms out of your sight. What are her whoredoms? What are her whoredoms? We just mentioned a few of them. Go ahead.
Christmas, birthdays.
Christianity, Islam, I.U.I.C., GMS.
Those are the whoredoms. Easter. You understand what I mean? Democrat, Republican. Those are her whoredoms. You understand what I mean? Following gods that your forefathers did not know. Abraham does not know none of the gods that black people follow today. Those are her whoredoms. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Okay. And her adulteries from between her breasts.
Go ahead.
Lest I strip her naked.
Lest I what?
Lest I strip her naked.
God is not a simp, man. What does it mean, lest I strip her naked? Go ahead.
They completely take my covering away from her.
And do what to her? Go ahead.
And show everybody her, her issues.
Therefore,
should be exposed.
And I'm looking for a word. One word. What am I going to do to her when I strip her naked in front of everybody? Embarrass her. Go get your mother before I embarrass her. You know what I mean? Go get your mother. Plead with her. Plead with her because I'm about to embarrass her. That's the Lord's order to you as somebody who's been shown mercy. Get your mother before I embarrass her in front of everybody. And as you can see, we are completely embarrassed. If you want to see how embarrassed you are, some of your most popular women are Sexy Red and what's the other one that was twerking for Kamala? You're embarrassed. You're completely embarrassed. You know what I mean? Because imagine that if that's your mom, you're embarrassed. Go ahead, wash it.
It's like this chick got a Sexy Red got a lip gloss line coming out, and she has the most ridiculous names for each of these lip glosses. One of them is like yellow discharge and gonorrhea.
Look, brother, if you don't understand this metaphor that the Lord is giving you about whoredom, and you see it every day, you understand what I mean? And especially these Christians, if you partake in it, like Christ said, ye hypocrites. You understand? Ye hypocrites, especially if you, let's say you don't partake in it. Let's say you laughing at Sexy Red. But you are in the Christian church, you're a hypocrite. Right. Because you don't see the metaphor. The Lord is teaching you something with this whore. You don't see it because you're too simple to see past, what she's doing. If you look into the spiritual world, you see exactly what's happening. You understand? I mean, the Lord is embarrassing you by stripping them, by just stripping them naked and showing how simple they are, how foolish they are, how lustful they are, how much of a sellout they will be for a little bit of fame. Why? Because I am not your husband. You don't have my protection. You know how many people that have in the past and will do, are doing that and will do in the future, women who have lost their husbands and end up prostitutes? People don't really talk about that. How many people lose their husband, lose that protection, and end up selling it to survive? Why? They don't have a husband. The Lord is saying, I'm not your husband. So of course she's out there selling what? Gonorrhea lipstick? Of course she's out there selling it. She has no father. She has no father. You understand? And guess what? The father is what separates you from the heathen. Your father's name is what makes you not a bastard child.
Right.
You understand? Keep reading, Shabbat.
Lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day as she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her in thirst.
That's if you didn't understand that what's happening here, you experience all of this throughout your captivities. You understand? Throughout your captivities, you've been naked in the wilderness, in the dry land, and thirsty. You understand what I mean? That's why Yahanna, what did he say? He say, if you ask God to give you living water. This thirst is not just, of course, it is a physical thirst, but this is thirst for the truth. You understand? I mean, you haven't had the truth for so long, you can't even take it in a heavy dose. That's why you gotta get the milk scriptures, because you can't take it in heavy dosages. You understand what I mean? You can't take it in heavy doses. I remember one time we was in the world, my brother came from jail, right? And it was a big celebration. My mom cooked a feast of food, right?
At the Black Rice?
It was there. It was there. Everything was there, right? And everybody's excited. Everybody's plate is full. Like we had family over, friends over. Everybody came to see my brother. And he sat there. He just sat there and looked at the food. He had a little bit of food in his plate because my mom had fixed him a plate and he didn't want too much. And he took like 2 bites. And he was just sitting there. And everybody, you're not eating? You're not eating? Because they would think he'd be the first one eating. But he was like, it looks good, it smells good, but I can't digest that. He's used to eating garbage. You understand what I mean? The food that he's used to eating for the past how many years is what he's used to eating. He can't eat this. And that's why a lot of times when you see people in the world, you're trying to break down something heavy to them. They can't take that. They're used to garbage. Only thing you could do is feed them milk. What does the milk do? Gets you strong again. Gets your digestion system going. It gets you, back healthy so that your stomach could digest more solid food. That's why we teach with the milk scriptures. That's why I always say, like when we go to camp, like in our mind, we're gonna go out there with a dynamic speaking. It's going on deaf ears, brother. It's dynamic to you because you can understand it. You can digest it. I mean, it's like preparing a big steak for a toddler. He don't even got teeth. He don't got teeth. No matter how well the steak is done and prepared and seasoned, he don't got teeth. You cut a piece in his mouth, he'll be chewing on that same piece for the next 6 hours. When he goes to sleep, the piece of steak will be on his pillow. The same one he's been chewing for the last 6 hours. He don't got teeth for it. You understand what I mean? Where was that? Keep reading.
Verse 4.
Even though if the brothers have anything to say online also, Salaka, I don't want to ignore them. Swap is there? So, Mataya? Most likely. Anybody else there?
Officer Shar is there. We train that as well.
Officer Shar, Shalom, Most High Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And I would not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms.
And again, remember, that's why I was saying earlier, those who are showing mercy, it's not everybody. Because they're still out there. The Lord is still, like, even though he's showing you mercy because you've changed and you've been born again, that's not his wife. Those are not his children. You go plead with them. You understand me? You go plead with them because the Lord's ready to embarrass them more. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to embarrass them more. That's why you better go plead with them. You understand what I mean? Go ahead. Somebody was saying something online, Salaki.
No, that was a Shar giving us.
Okay, most high Christ. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For their mother have played the harlot.
Their mother was what?
Have played the harlot.
This is Israel, man. Their mother has been a whore. She's played the harlot. You understand what I mean? She's been a whore. I can't say, I wish I could say the word whore like Captain Mashak say whore. He's been a whore. I can't say it that way. I mean, but that's what Israel has done. Again, you've been in every mountaintop worshiping every god. I guarantee you, if there's a new religion coming out today, Israel's in there. If there's a new celebration, Israel's there. If the LGBTQ is walking, parading down the streets, they're there. They're right amongst them. They're a bunch of whores. And the Lord's not going to associate himself with that. The Lord told Abraham, walk before me and be perfect. That's the order. All that other stuff, you're going to the right, to the left. You're a whore. You understand me? Walk before me. Walk the straight path. And like Shabbat says, where I could see you. I don't see you on that mountain over there worshiping Allah. You understand me? You're going to go circle some rock. Circle some rock and kiss some rock. And that rock is going to magically forgive all your sins. That's what you want to worship? That's what you want to worship versus the Lord. The heathens there, they could do that. That's their God. You're whoring with their God.
Right.
They're not invited in here. By the way, let me tell you this. We are the most tolerant people. We're the most tolerant group of people. We're not telling no Arab to come and worship our God. He's not allowed to. He should stay where he's at. We're not telling that West African Timothy to come where he should stay where he's at. Why would I go to over there to try to convert him to what we believe? He should stay where he's at. The Africans could stay where they're at. The Moabites could stay where they're at. Keep your culture. The East Indian can stay where they're at. We're not here trying to convince nobody. Why? Because God never made a covenant with them.
Right.
Never. The Lord told Abraham, and through your seed shall my name be called. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I mean? Keep reading, Shabbat.
Okay.
They think we're bullies and stuff like that only because we say stay with your people. What's wrong with that? Stay with your people. Japanese, stay with your people, man. Go and support your people and love your people. Nigerians, go love your people. Go. We're not holding you and telling you, hey, Christ, have you ever seen us go to a Chinese man and say, hey, Christ was a black man? It got nothing to do with him. Got nothing to do with him. Only thing we ever said to the Chinese man, yo, give me some extra duck sauce. That's the only thing I ever said to them. Don't forget the duck sauce. You understand what I mean? That's the only thing I've ever said to them. Go ahead, Shabbat.
Okay.
No, you said you had your hand up. Go ahead, Salaki.
I was going to make a comment about what you're saying.
Go ahead. You good? Go ahead, make a comment.
Cause I was about to say with the dude, he already on with them, but he and I chat every day. He want us to get the acceptance.
He think we whores too.
Right.
He think he gonna go everywhere and everybody's just gonna accept him, and he don't understand why he gets turned away at the door. Like we block you. Like we don't even want you. We don't even want you to waste your time. You understand what I mean? Like if you knock on the door, we'd be asking, how'd you get this address? What are you doing here? Go to the West Africans, man. Go to them. Or go to the whores. Go to the whores, because this house here is a house of integrity, a house of self-respect. You understand me? This is not a house where every nation could just walk in and make themselves at home. This is not that. You understand me? This is a house that walks before the Lord. And we don't get to decide who comes in here and what nations. Nah, that's been decided before we got here. All we could do is follow the orders.
Right.
You understand me? Go ahead, Shabbat. Keep reading.
Verse 5. For their mother had played the harlot. She that conceived them have done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers.
I will what?
Go after my lovers.
I will go after my lovers. This is you, Israel. This is you getting ready. What's the next holiday? Halloween. After that, Thanksgiving. After that, Christmas. You're going to go after your lovers. In between that, your birthday, you're going after your lovers. You understand me? Go ahead.
That give me my bread.
For she said, I will go after my lovers. Go ahead.
That give me my bread and my water.
Go ahead.
My wool and my flax. My oil and my drink.
Okay, somebody break that part down for me. It's pretty simple, but I want to hear it broken down. Go ahead.
Sounds like she's saying she's gonna go basically to the oppressor because they give me all these. They give me food stamps. They give me Section 8.
Therefore, I don't need
no man.
No man. I don't need a husband. I don't need no man. That's what it's saying here. We got everything we need. The oppressor supplies me what I need. Therefore, I don't need God. You understand what I mean? It's such a parallel. It's such a parallel that these is, they don't even like when I hear them say that, I just think about this like, damn, like this is such a, like when you understand this metaphor that the Lord put before us, if you really study this, understand this, and look at our community, you're just gonna be like, damn, this is us. If you know who's who are you in this picture, who are they in this picture, and just look at the behaviors and understand why the Lord said you better go and plead with her. Why do you plead? Because you're desperate. That's why you plead with her, to save her. That's your mother. That's your people. The Lord's about to embarrass them more. You understand what I mean? And it's going to shame you because guess what? That's your mother. That's your people. You understand? Now you got to look at all those, the Elamites and the Ishmaelites. All of them somehow are greater than you on the earth. How the hell is that possible? An African is greater than you on the earth. What? What? Who's your favorite African, Shabbat? Who? You know what I mean? Who did they have that is like has done anything? Who's your favorite Moabite? Ammonite? Ishmaelite? What skill? Who's your favorite? Okay, let's get specific. Bakwash, you watch football. Who's your favorite Ishmaelite player?
I don't think there is an Ishmaelite.
You don't like Mahmoud? Mahmoud Hussein? He's not in the NFL?
Lies.
No? Who is in the NFL?
His only brothers
Who's
that take on those names.
Yeah. Who is in the NFL? Jerome? Jamal? I mean, that's who's in the NFL. The greatest people on the earth. But because you don't want to follow the Lord's going to shame you. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 6, therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her path.
Now the Lord is against you. The Lord is not a simp. He's not going to overlook it. He's not going to hug you and say, I know the child's not mine. I mean, but we're in this together. You hoes who like to hear that, you're not going to hear from the Lord. You see what I mean? You'll never hear that from a man with integrity, with honor, self-respect. You'll never hear that from him. You understand what I mean? Keep reading.
Verse 7, and she will follow her lover. She will follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them.
You're going to be chasing these lovers, and they're going to be smashing and dashing. And you will not overtake them. Meaning what? None of them will keep you. None of your lovers keep you. They sell you out. Right now, you know who's their lover right now? Kamala Harris. She's a lover for them right now. They're in bed with Kamala Harris. Wait till she gets elected. Never heard of you. All the what's it called? The hot sauce on the table with the pictures, all the hip hop concerts, all that's going away. Once she got what she wanted. When she got what she wanted from you hoes, you know how your hoes get treated, right? These hoes, you know how they get treated in the streets. Well, that's what she's about to do to Israel. You understand me? Just like Obama. I remember there was a sister, a young sister. She was crying. I don't know if you remember. It's a young sister. She was on TV. She was crying when Obama got elected. After Obama left office, they interviewed her again. Who remember that? You remember it?
I remember crying, sir.
You remember crying? She was crying and she had a hope. And the whole campaign, what was the campaign on? Change. I think that was it, right? And afterwards, when they interviewed again, she was like, yeah, he didn't do anything that we thought he was going to do for us. You know what I mean? And she was like, she was speaking, and she was like, yeah, he didn't do anything for us at all. Like, I was very disappointed. She got played. And Kamala is about to play the same game.
Right.
That's what I mean. Go ahead, keep reading.
Sorry, if I could.
Go ahead.
And I'm pretty sure the bubble-headed Negroes was pissed off at her for saying that to the public.
Of course.
That should have been in-house.
Of course. They hated when she said that. I mean, she had to let it be. Like she was honest. She said, "Yo, they got what they wanted and they left." I mean, they got what they wanted and they left, like they do hoes. I mean, any lustful bastard, when he runs into a hoe, he even believes he loves her in the moment till he gets what he wants, and then he remembers she's a hoe, and all the lust have left your body. All the lust have evacuated your body, and now it's just you and a hoe sitting there. You're not sticking around. You're not sticking around. All the promises go out the window. All the, kind words go out the window. All the whining and dining, spending your money, all that goes out the window. You understand? In fact, I tell you this: most men, after they done slept with the hoe, most of the time they hate her afterwards. I mean, most of the time they hate her afterwards. I mean, go ahead, Shapak.
Okay.
And for the sisters, I'm not talking about, just so you understand, the hoe is the whole nation. Right? This is not a woman bashing segment where we're just attacking the men of the hoes too. If that makes y'all feel better. They're the head hoes because they lean y'all to these devils. I mean, go ahead. But y'all all hoes too. Go ahead,
Verse 7. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them.
Go ahead.
And she shall seek them, but shall not find them.
She shall what?
She shall seek them, but shall not find them.
After they done smashed. After they done got what they need after you, you're looking for them. The number you have dialed is not in service. That's what you're hearing. The number you have dialed is not in service. Or there's the person you would call is not taking calls right now. That means you're blocked. You're blocked on social media now. You're blocked on all the apps. You're blocked on the dating apps. You're blocked. He got what he wanted. Keep reading.
Okay. But shall not find it. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband.
I will what?
I will go and return to my first husband.
Then she'll say, I will go and return to my first husband. Go ahead.
For then was it better with me than now.
The prodigal son. Understand what I mean? The prodigal son all over again. This is another precept for it. And so when you go out there and you get abused and abused, you're going to think back and say, damn, I did have a husband who took care of me, who preferred me above all people on the face of the earth, who made me royalty, who made me luxurious, who made me what I am today. You're going to start to remember that husband when everybody else has forsaken you. You understand what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 8. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore I will return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness.
Okay, now somebody break down this part here for me. Verse 8 and 9. Somebody break down 8 and 9. Understand 8 and then 9. Go ahead, bro. So in verse 7, right? She said, I did have a husband. Now that these people don't want me, let me return to my husband. Verse 8 says, for she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal.
So it looks like it's saying that she ain't know I was the one who gave her all, who provided her with what she needed, and now that she's trying to return back, I'm taking all that stuff back.
Okay, no, it is the Lord who said, "I'm the one who gave her all these things, which they prepared for Baal." Okay, to make it simple, she wanted to be. Go ahead.
It's like, sir. So she remembered, right, that the Lord gave uh the Lord gave us everything that we needed, right? And then we gave all of our we gave all the things that the Lord gave us, and we gave it on to the heathens. But he's going to take it back from the heathen and soon to return it back to us.
You're onto it. No, right?
Come.
She don't know the thing that she was given to Baal. She thought it was in her own power or in her own hand. She didn't know the Lord pushed her out the house. Go. You want to go serve God, Baal? Go. Take this with you. You hoe. You understand? The Lord ain't no simp. He ain't begging you to stay. Go and do it. Go and do it. You understand? Now in verse 9, therefore I will return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and I will cover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. Meaning what? Shabbat.
Ben said he was the one who pushed her out to think she was getting all that from them. You know, saying, go ahead and go get it from them. Now I'm going to make sure they don't even give it to you.
Now you're completely by yourself. They don't want you. I don't want you. Now what? We should explain the next verse. Read the verse. You're gonna tie it together now.
Come. Verse 10. And now I will discover her lewdness in the sight of her in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of mine hand.
The Lord ain't no simp. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there and play the hoe and think you just crawl back however you want and just remember, well, you know, ain't nothing out here. I do remember I had a husband. Let me go back to him. That's not how you return to the Lord, man. You gotta repent. Because the only reason she wants to return to her husband is why? Because nobody want her and she's falling on hard times. But she didn't know the Lord was telling her to go. The Lord was not trying to keep you from going. The Lord ain't no simp. He ain't no sucker. I mean, you're not going to go and hold on him and think, well, now that nobody wants me, let me go home. No. And I will discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. That's what the Lord had to say about that. You understand what I mean? I remember there was one of the most evil punishments I think could happen was that hot box. I think they depicted it in the movie The Django. Right? That was an actual hot box. It was a casket made out of metal. And they'd put you in that casket and bury you alive for a couple of days in that casket. A tight casket made out of metal. And the sun is hot. And you underground for 3 or 4 days. Imagine you're claustrophobic. You imagine that's what they did to you. And the Lord said, enjoy. That's what you chose over ruling over the earth. Now the heat and putting you in metal caskets and burying you. Enjoy. You prefer that, then take it. Come across the transatlantic ocean like sardines. Enjoy. That's what you preferred. I told you are special people above these people. You want to go under these people. Enjoy. The Lord is not no sucker. He ain't begging nobody to serve him. He's not hoping one day you have a change of heart. He's going to embarrass you. And like he said to us, go and plead with your mother. You understand me? Because this shame will be yours also. Because she's embarrassed, you're embarrassed. You know what I mean? And again, if you ever looked at Will Smith like a sucker, you should understand this. If you ever looked at Dwayne Wade like a sucker, you should understand this. You'll never look at the Lord as a sucker. Never. The Lord won't allow it. You understand what I mean? The Lord won't allow it. And you want him to be a sucker. You know why you want him to be a sucker? Because this time you're the hoe. That's why you want him to be a sucker. But he ain't no sucker. He ain't no simp. He ain't no coward. He don't need you. He made you great. You understand what I mean? Keep reading. Slack, because you had your hand up. No? Okay, keep reading.
Go. Verse 11. I will also cause her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons.
Remember, this is after she said, what? I did have a husband before. Let me go back to him. You think you're sliding back that way? Nuh-uh. You're not. Therefore, I will cause her what?
I will also cause all her mirth to cease.
What's mirth? What's mirth? Shabbat?
Like enjoyment.
Joy. Happiness, singing, dancing. Mirth. Laughing. Mirth. Go ahead.
Her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts.
All those solemn feasts. Go ahead.
And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she hath said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. And I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them.
That's what the Lord is saying. Remember, she's saying, I want to go back to my husband. The Lord said, hold up, ho. Slow down there. These judgments have to come upon you now. You understand what I mean? These judgments have to come upon you now. Because why? Because you only here because you're in a lowly state now. You're used, abused, and nobody wants you. You come crawling back. You think you're going to come back and shame my house. It doesn't work that way. Keep reading.
Okay. And I will visit upon her the days of Balaam, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith the Lord.
Right. You understand what I mean? The Lord will visit upon those days. When he says, I will visit upon her those days, it means because of what she did, she'll get judgment for those days. Judgment will come upon her. Right, go ahead.
God. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
Go ahead.
And I will give her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Acre, and so like the valley of Acre for a door of hope, and she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
But then, here's the good news. The Lord's going to have mercy on you. He's going to remember the covenant he made with your father, your forefather Abraham. You understand? He's going to hear see the efforts of those who he does call Ami, his sons, and he has had mercy on them. You understand me? So he will forgive her eventually, which is the good news, because she needs the forgiveness, but before the forgiveness, she had to get the judgment. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 16, and it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Aisha.
That means husband. And that day you will call me husband. Go ahead.
And shall call me no more Ba'ali.
Ba'ali mean you will no longer serve Baal. You understand what I mean? You're going to return to the Lord, but you're going to return properly to the Lord. You understand? How can you return properly to the Lord? You're going to have to be born again. Meaning what? What you did never happened because you're born again. You're a new nation. You're a new people. Hence the new covenant that you read about in the New Testament. You understand what I mean? Meaning that the people who did this, and you'll see, okay, same thing happened during the time of Moses and Joshua. When the Lord sent Joshua and Caleb to go and spy in the land, and they came back and they were afraid to go. And the Lord said they will never go into that land. That generation had to completely die out. That nation was never going to go into that land. They had to die. Their children went into the land. That was them born again. That was the new generation. They got to go into the land. That nation that was a bunch of cowards would never go into that land. The Lord was not going to honor them with that. Same thing here. Right now, what you're seeing now in these last days is a new nation being born. You understand what I mean? That's why I did plead with them coming to the Lord, because I know you was born out of whoredom, but this is our shot. You're said to go back and serve the Lord. Because guess what? Our mothers could not go back. Our fathers could not go back. They were not allowed to. Like, that's why a lot of people, they look at their father. Like, our fathers didn't have the truth, and they couldn't get the truth. There was no shot. You know what I mean? Because of the sins of whoredom. Right? Keep reading.
For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely.
Right. He's going to have mercy on us, basically. You understand me? He's going to have mercy on us. Give me the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6. First Corinthians chapter 6. Give me verse start verse 16.
Okay. Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh.
Right? If you are okay, somebody break this down for me. Read it again.
Okay. Verse 16. What? Know ye not?
Do you not know? Go ahead.
That he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh.
Break that down. Why am I bringing this out? Know ye not that he who is joined to a harlot is one body? Bukwasha.
What it's saying is, if you, what those sisters say, if you lay down with dogs, you're gonna get fleas. If you're gonna be with a hoe, you're gonna have them hoe tendencies with her.
You're a hoe too. He who lays down with a hoe is one body. Don't you not know it says the two shall become one flesh? If you're sleeping with a hoe, you're a hoe. You're one body. Go ahead.
Is a comment online.
Go ahead.
Question from an Amir Nasir. says, who, he's saying Jews, but I'm thinking it's Jews. He says, who are the real Jews? I have a hard time believing the so-called Jews of modern times are the chosen people. Their actions make me question their authenticity.
That's a bit, what's his name?
Amir Nasir.
Where's he? Okay, Amir, where are you from? What's your nationality? And where's your father from? His nationality. All right. Go ahead, Shapat.
Okay. Read from the top.
Go ahead.
Okay. Verse book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh.
Go ahead. So, in other words, this is why the Lord had to reject you, because he ain't no hoe. So he not walking with you. He not associating himself with you. If you want to go out and be that, you understand what I mean? Go ahead, Quash, yeah.
He responding says, I'm born in Minneapolis, but my family is Egyptian.
Okay. So right now you have beef with the Jews. That's why you want to, find out who they are. They're not the real Jews. That for sure you could be certain of. They're not the real Jews, right? The real Jews are today what you would call a people that your people also hate, by the way. African Americans, right? The Hispanics, Native American Indians. You understand what I mean? So knowing that your enemy, the white people over there, not the real Jews, might be a relief for you, but it'll also break your heart to know that another people you do not like are God's chosen people. I mean, the African Americans. If you have any friends who are African American, ask them where they are from prior to slavery. They won't be able to tell you. You understand what I mean? They won't be able to tell you. So, yeah, that answers your question, man. But I don't know what else to tell you. The African Americans, Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are the real Jews of the Bible. All right, Shapat, go ahead. Is he Arab or like? Because what is he? Because Egyptian, that means you live on the land. You understand what I mean? A lot of Arabs. I'm gonna tell you something about the Arabs too. By the way, everybody's talking about colonized white people colonizers. Them Arabs are some colonizers. They're the Egyptians. They're the Syrians. They're the Palestinians. They're the people from Iraq. They're the people from Iran. Everywhere they go, they've colonized everywhere. You understand what I mean? Go ahead.
He said, was just wondering your thoughts. Thanks for the response. He says he's Arabic.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's the good news. We'll never ask you to join us. You understand what I mean? And it's good because guess what? We don't have a problem with you following your people.
Right.
Like I said, we're the most tolerant people on earth. We'll never tell Amir here, stop believing in what you believe in, come and join us. You understand what I mean? We'll never do that, even though his people would force us to follow their prophet, right, their so-called prophet. You understand what I mean? Amir, have a good one, man. Keep reading. Where are we at? Let's finish this off. Actually, for the sake of time, cut me down to verse 20. Go ahead. Somebody read verse 1 Corinthians 6:20 for me.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 20. For ye are bought with a price.
For ye are what?
Ye are bought with a price.
You are bought with a price. You understand, Israel? You are bought with a price. God made a covenant with Abraham. You understand? You are bought with a price. Go ahead.
Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
That's it. You understand what I mean? That's the bottom line. That's what you have to understand. We are here to serve the Lord, and that's it. We're not here to go and try to find the gods of the Arabs, the god of the Africans, the god of the so-called white man. You know what I mean? The god of the Chinese. We are separate people, and we are to remain a separate people. And you can see it now. Has joining other nations helped us? No. They've only hauled us out.
Right.
That's what I mean. You to what, brother? Say again? Okay, no problem. All right. Any questions online?
Someone said something, but it just doesn't make any sense.
What did it say?
Dr. J. Smithers, PhD, says, irrefutable lost sheep. Exodus 23:21. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. His name is in who? Yahweh Shai is Jehovah. That's like Yahushua is Jehovah.
So I'm glad you got that off your chest. Yes, what I mean? And let me tell you something else before we wrap it up. Stop smoking, man. Stop smoking. I'm telling you, like, battle that demon. A lot of you have been smoking for years, and you can't. Like, you have to battle that demon.
Right.
You have to battle that demon. You can't keep smoking and think you can teach anybody anything. Look, don't. This is the whole point of what we're just reading. You can't leave the world or leave the streets, as they say, the way you want to leave the streets.
Right.
You gotta do it the way. If you offend the Lord and you left the Lord, you gotta come back on His terms. You can't come back on your terms, believing what you want, thinking what you want, feeling what you want. You understand what I mean? That brother, whoever he is, who said that, it's probably a brother. He's proud as hell. Right. You understand what I mean? He's not even on topic. He thought that was heavy what he had put there, and he, like, no matter what the topic was, he was gonna post that. That's a demon. Right. No matter what the topic is, he's not even addressing the topic. He just went into some whole thing. We don't, like, to the point we don't know what he's talking about. But in his mind, he done told us. He done put us in our place.
Right.
If you hear him talking to his friends, he's like, yeah, I go online and check them all the time. In his mind, it's a demon.
Right.
In his mind, he just checked the hell out of us and gave us something to think about. When in reality, he didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? He said, brother, stop smoking. Get off drugs. Stop being weak under your woman. You understand what I mean? But again, as we were just reading, the Lord's not gonna. The Lord ain't no simp.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Whatever God he just mentioned there, the Lord don't know that God. All right. With that, we'll pass the class over to the priest and officer Bakwashia.
Security announcements. We're at I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8-10, means tenth in Hebrew. It is pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation is the memorial of the blowing of trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, is Wednesday, the 2nd October, 2024. You can find this in Leviticus 23, verse 24 and 25. We also got the cookouts. It's still cookout season. The next cookout is August 30th through September 2nd, I believe. Then you got Southern Cali cookout, September 26th through the 29th. And then the Houston cookout, which is October 31st through November 3rd. Also, the Lord's 56th annual Passover is April 12th and is going to be in Atlanta. The Passover fee has not been released yet, but if you just go off of the strength of what was last year's Passover fee, which was $200 for anybody 17 years of age and older,
If you set aside that amount of money, you should be Tawab. You know what I'm saying? And however long you're going to stay there for the Passover is going to be in Atlanta. Again, this is mandatory. This is what the Most High has commanded us to do. Also, brothers, whoever is going to stand for the Hebrew Academy is starting September 15th. You have anything, sir?
Well, if for Hebrew Academy, if you didn't get your physicals into Officer Kazak Ahmad, if you're in the DC school, I don't know what to tell you, because I believe that ship has sailed already, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Remind Akim and Akwafi to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headbands, and scarf. With that, I say Amaji, which means stand. We'll get one praise salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amaji Shabbat, Imaji, Barak, Yahanna, Yad Matah, class dismissed.